as it is written in the law of Moshe. And well, what I meant also is because he mentioned the law of Moshe, making reference to Deuteronomy, the curses of Deuteronomy 28, for instance, and plenty of those curses, like kind of half of those curses, were fulfilled after Daniel. So my point is, imagine how Daniel in that time thought most of it had been already fulfilled. But now that we are 2,500 years after Daniel, we can see that even more things fulfilled, and in a clearer way. Like we read Deuteronomy nowadays, and it's amazing to see how every detail has been fulfilled. In the time of Daniel, it was more in a general way that it was being fulfilled, or in a particular, in the sense of several, um, I don't know how to put it, pretty, what I mean, individuals, but I don't want to take away any of the pain at all, or any of the sadness that Israel lived in Babylon in that time. My point is that it's amazing to think about how Daniel was talking about how everything fulfilled, everything, every curse was fulfilled. Yet 2,500 years later, we look back in history and can see many other things, sad, horrible things that have happened in this reality, in this world, to Israel. So, verse 13. As it is written in the law of Moshe, all these disasters, all this disaster has come upon us, yet we have not made our prayer before Yahweh our Elohim. Look, this is why Daniel, when he reads scriptures, he reads that it says, all this disaster has come upon us, yet we have not made our prayer before Yahweh. He decides to make a prayer, which is amazing, because many times we think of something, of a prayer, for instance, and we may think, no, somebody already prayed for that. No, I'm sure somebody's going to pray for it. Somebody will take care of it. Yeah, etc. But if you're getting the idea of praying for something, it's because you need to pray for that something. You, not somebody else. You. That's why you're getting the idea. So my point is, many times because of job that one may have, because of, well, anything of this world, people tend to forget to pray. They don't pray about, well, it depends on the people, of course. I hope all of you guys pray a lot, hopefully. But most people don't pray that much. They don't take into account that Yahweh is always there listening. So they don't talk to him. They think that it's different, so they may take it a few moments before they go to bed or something like that. My point here is that many people should be praying for something that Yahweh told them to pray for, yet they are not doing so because they think that somebody else is doing it, or that is not their job, or they don't have time for it, or they don't even pay attention to the thoughts Yahweh puts in their heads. So they don't pray. And it's like Daniel is saying here, it is written, all this disaster came upon us, and still nobody has prayed regarding it. So Daniel takes it upon himself to pray for it. And he says, we have sinned, even though Daniel before Yahweh pretty much had no sin. But he says we, because he says, if I have to take upon myself this job of rectifying the people of Israel, I will do so. So he's like the witness like Moshe, who does come as a prodigal son, but even though he accepts Yahushua and could be one of the 144,000 who doesn't die, decides to accept that mission of dying for the people so that the many can also enter. So that is not only the few who will enter, but also the many who have rebelled during the past 2,000 years. So Daniel decides to pray and counts himself among those who rebelled, even though he has not rebelled really. We could say he sinned because he's a human, but he has not rebelled. We don't see Daniel as a rebellious person. In the book of Daniel, we pretty much see his entire life, from the time he was very young to the time he was about to die. Verse 13, as it is written in the law of Moshe, all this disaster has come upon us, yet we have not made our prayer before Yahweh our Elohim, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand your truth. This is so important. People don't pray, and even when they pray, they most of the time repeat something else that they heard, or something that they used to pray about, and they continue doing it. And those prayers are not really prayers. Listen to this, like these words are how we should pray, in the sense of the wisdom that is being used to ask for things. For instance, because most people think of prayer as asking for things, asking for forgiveness, asking for what you need, but it shouldn't be only that. When you have a conversation with somebody, you're not expecting that somebody to only talk to you when that somebody wants something from you. That would be pretty bad. If that person only comes to you to ask for stuff, and that's the only way you will hear from that person, then there won't be that much. Well, that person wouldn't be showing love, pretty much, would be showing interest. That's all. So my point is, when we pray, we should take all the things in account. We should take in account that we're having a conversation with our Father, our Creator, our Sovereign, our King, etc. Obviously, He knows that He's the provider of everything, so He knows that we will ask for things. But that shouldn't be the only focus of prayer. So listen to what Daniel says. That we might turn from our iniquities and understand your truth. Because people know the truth because it is written, but they don't understand it because they haven't received the spirit of truth to understand all truth. So Daniel is asking for it, which is key. Once again, it's so important to understand, because you might receive wisdom, but if you don't understand that which you received, you don't do anything with that idea which you got. You can go nowhere with that flash of wisdom that you may have received. Obviously, if Yahweh gave you certain wisdom, He can give you the understanding. I'm just saying that wisdom and understanding are two parts that are needed, like the first and the last.